The El Dorado County Sheriff's Office has now identified all 8 people killed when a boat capsized in Lake Tahoe over the weekend. Here's a list of those victims: 71-year-old Paula Bozinovich of Redwood City, 73-year-old Terry Pickles, also from Redwood City, 37-year-old Joshua Antony Pickles of San Francisco, 72-year-old Peter Bays of Lincoln, California, 71-year-old Timothy O'Leary of Auburn, California, 66-year-old Theresa Giullari, and 69-year-old James Guck of Honeoye, New York, and 63-year-old Stephen Lindsay of Springwater, New York. 6 of the 8 were found shortly after the boat capsized, while crews continued to search for 2 that were unaccounted for. One of them was found in the frigid waters of Lake Tahoe late Sunday night, while the other was pulled from the lake on Monday afternoon. Multiple agencies called the search off Sunday morning due to a number of factors. The Coast Guard telling News 4 Fox 11 the decision to call off a search is not an easy one to make.
It takes a heavy toll on the crews and everybody involved. That's not an easy decision to make. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Search area, there was over 390 square miles of search area covered throughout our search, along with local agencies with divers in the water. There's a lot of factors that go into suspending a search like this, and it does weigh heavily on the crews.
The Coast Guard got the call on Saturday at about 3 in the afternoon of 10 people in the water near D.L. Bliss State Park after a 27-foot Chris Craft vessel took on water. Authorities said waves exceeded 8 feet.
In my year here, that was definitely the worst I've seen here on the lake. Like I said, winds gusting well over 30 knots, seas at a pretty steady 8 foot, really close interval.
The National Weather Service told us Monday that seeing thunderstorms in the summer is not unusual, but this one was more severe than what we tend to see.
We've seen some pop-up storms in the afternoons. It could happen, but this was more convective in nature than, say, it was that being that the winds were produced from the result of the storm collapsing. Definitely uncommon to see waves that high that were reported. But the storm just tracked from the north to the south, and the winds picked up and just caused these waves to, increase in their height and unfortunately cause some impacts.
The Coast Guard urges anyone going on area waters, regardless of the conditions, to have a plan.
Obviously, we urge everyone to make sure that you understand your limits as a boat driver. Understand your boat's limits. Take a look at the weather. Obviously, it's not easy to forecast up here, but be in the know as much as you can with what's being forecasted. Need you to have all the safety gear on board. Most notably going to be your life jackets, making sure there's enough life jackets and the proper size life jackets for everybody that's going to be on the boat. Filing a good float plan with somebody that's going to be on shore and easy to get in contact, so they can be our point of contact if you are overdue or if something does happen. Making sure that individual knows where you're going to be, how long you're going to be out, when you're going to be returning, and where you're going to be returning to.
Float plans should include the following information: details about the vessel, including registration number, the boat size, the type, and the color. This helps authorities identify the boat in question much quicker. You should also have a rough idea of what time you're setting out and when you might return, as well as planned routes and destinations. You should always know how many people will be on board at all times and their emergency contacts. And if you can, you should leave information on the tow vehicle and the trailer. The Nevada Department of Wildlife's Boating Education Coordinator echoing the same sentiment.
Legally, everybody needs a life jacket. Whether you're on a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard or a boat, you need to have a life jacket. Only people 12 and under have to be wearing it when they're on the water. But we recommend everybody wear the life jacket at all times whenever you're on the water, because you just don't know how you're going to wind up in the water.
He says wear a life jacket regardless of how well you can swim. Whether or not people were wearing life jackets in this incident is still under investigation.
But he was a strong swimmer. You don't know how you're winding up in the water. You could hurt your shoulder. You could be knocked unconscious. There's 100 different ways that you could get ejected from a boat into the water, where you being a strong swimmer is not going to come into effect at all. And that life jacket, no matter how hurt you are, conscious, unconscious, that life jacket's going to keep your head above water.
Not having life jackets on board isn't just a bad idea, it's illegal.
There is law enforcement out on all the waters, not just game wardens, but sheriff's deputies. And the law is you have to have enough life jackets for everybody on the boat. So if you get stopped by one of our game wardens and you don't have enough life jackets, you're going to get a citation.